Welcome to ATW's Friday Night WhackDown, bringing you all-time wrestling's non-stop action, coming to you live from the Catching Arts Arena. And your commentary team tonight is me, Richard Tugger, and me, Stats Nerdy Man. And what a show we have in store tonight, Stats. What's happening tonight, Tug? Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Golden Ropes tournament continues, and we have some more highlights for you to see what has happened on last week's WhackDown.
Well, we are through to the bronze bracket of eliminations now for the Golden Ropes tournament. But before we get to those, let's take a look back at who made it through the initial bracket last week. And up first was Gilgamesh, the ancient king of Mesopotamia, versus Mukundi Shumba. Two absolute powerhouses. What a match that was. If you missed it, you really missed out. That's right, Tug, it definitely wasn't one to skip. What a high-impact match that was. And Gilgamesh, with his brawl value of 3, giving him a total of 8. And Mukundi Shumba also had a brawl value of 3. But he only scored a 5. And so Gilgamesh made it through to the bronze bracket. What an incredible match that was. And then we saw Nick Aldis take on Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. And it was great to see Kurt Angle back in action after that disappointing loss at Wackomania, going up against Nick Aldis, who had a brawl value of 2. Things were looking bleak for Angle. It would take a miracle for him to pull it off.
But Kurt Angle scored a 9.
And that sent him through to the bronze bracket, leaving Nick Aldis tapping out on the mat to the ankle lock. Another fantastic match. If you didn't tune in last week to these amazing matches, you really are missing something. And after that, we had a very tough match for Matt Cardona as he took on Andre the Giant. Well, Matt Cardona definitely drew the short straw, but he really gave it his all. Another fantastic match. But Andre the Giant came out strong with his brawl value of 3, scoring him a total of 10. It was definitely an uphill fight for Matt Cardona, but he still had a chance. With a score of 6, Matt Cardona's dreams were left in tatters, and Andre the Giant went through to the bronze bracket. And then our fourth and final match of what may be the greatest episode of WhackDown we have seen all year. Kamala took on the British Bulldog. And Kamala had a brawl value of 3. Oh, but Kamala did not seem up to the fight. And the British Bulldog had a real chance at winning here, with his brawl value of 2. And he scored a 7, just edging the win out against Kamala. It was an incredibly close matchup.
And I'm just getting word that Brian Pillman is backstage getting some last-minute treatment from Dr. Stevie on his ankles. Oh, and it looks like Brian Pillman's shattered ankles are all better. What a strong bloke he is. And what's this? It looks like Matt Cardona has something to say to Brian Pillman. Oh, Matt Cardona is probably not happy after his loss to Andre the Giant last week. Well, if it isn't the loose cannon, Brian Pillman.
Oh look, it's the Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona. You here to chew me out because you want people to think you're the real loose cannon round here?
I wanted to wish you luck tonight in your match against Raven. I'm looking forward to seeing you take down that phony, hardcore dirtbag. I was kinda hoping I could get some ringside seats to the action.
You want to be in my corner tonight? Is that it, huh? You think you're tough enough to hang with Brian Pillman? A man who does whatever he wants, whenever he wants, to whoever he wants. Well then, you got it, Cardona. I'll see you at ringside.
Well, it looks like Brian Pillman has recruited himself a new friend. Oh, I am really not liking Raven's chances now. Well, it looks like Brian Pillman and Matt Cardona have become allies, and that means Brian Pillman will gain the Ally ability card, which allows him to use the Cheap Shot Heal ability, which gives him 1 additional die during attack backstage actions, and after a successful attack during a match, Matt Cardona may interfere to deal 2 damage to his opponent. And with Matt Cardona in his corner, Brian Pillman will start this match with 2 momentum.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for 1 fall and is a Golden Ropes Tournament Silver Bracket qualifying match. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by the Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona, with a maximum health value of 15 and a maximum stamina value of 15. He is the loose cannon, Brian Pillman.
Oh, good lord, Brian Pillman is coming through the crowd again, and now there's 2 of them, as Matt Cardona accompanies his friend to the
Alright,
ring.
that's enough. Cut the music. Before that dirtbag Raven gets out here, I've got something to say to him. Raven, you like to think you're the most hardcore wrestler ever to step into the ring. But let me tell you something, Raven, because I know you're watching this from whatever stinking homeless shelter you're squatting in. After 5 minutes in the ring with Brian Pillman, you're gonna know what hardcore really is. You can dream all you want, Raven, about winning the Golden Ropes tournament, but the only way you're walking out of here the winner is over my dead body. So you can come out here in your cheap leather jacket and flap around like the pathetic, garbage-feeding lowlife you are. But the only Ravens circling this ring tonight are gonna be the ones waiting to pick at your carcass. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Oh, and some real fighting words there from Brian Pillman. I bet Raven is shaking in his boots. And that brutal promo is going to grant Brian Pillman 2 more momentum in this match, which means he's going to start with a whopping 4 momentum. And while we wait for Raven to make his way out to the ring, the official will prepare the cards for this match. And while he does that, let's hear from our sponsor, Shattered Ice Gaming. Shattered Ice Gaming brings you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and discussion videos on all things board games, and maybe a few other things too. You can subscribe on YouTube, leave likes, shares and comments on their videos. It is Shattered Ice Gaming that sponsors WhackDown and the Golden Ropes Tournament. Thank you, Shattered Ice Gaming.
And his opponent, making his way to the ring with a maximum health value of 14 and a maximum hand size of 15. He is the hardcore legend, Raven.
And Raven is looking to start things off here with a punch. And he needs a 2 to hit with that. And he gets it. Oh, landing that punch right on Brian Pillman's jaw, dealing 1 damage and gaining 1 momentum. And Raven looks to follow up with an Irish whip. And that's going to need a 2. And he gets a 1. Oh, but Brian Pillman clings onto the ropes. Pillman goes for an Irish whip of his own, costing him 1 stamina. He needs a 2 to hit, sending Raven right into the ropes, and that deals 1 damage and gains 1 momentum for Brian Pillman. Oh, and as Raven comes back off the ropes, Brian Pillman combos that Irish whip into a punch, and that costs him 1 stamina, and he needs a 2 to hit. Oh, but Raven blocks it and steals the initiative from Brian Pillman. And now that card has to be shuffled back into the draw pile. And Brian Pillman draws a replacement, and he gets a knife-edge chop. And Raven is back on the offensive, and he goes for a kick to the gut. And he needs a 2 to hit. Oh, and he smacks Pillman, dealing 1 damage, and gains another momentum. And Raven looking to follow up with a knee drop to the back of the head. And he needs a 3 to hit with that knee drop. Oh, and he gets it, dealing 2 more damage to Brian Pillman, and gaining him 2 more momentum. And as his defender's compensation, Brian Pillman will draw a card, getting a DDT. And now Raven looks to come in with some jabs. But that's the 3rd attack in a row that does 2 or less damage, so Brian Pillman is going to spend 2 stamina to block the attack. Oh, and now Brian Pillman is looking for a comeback as he goes for a suplex, costing him 1 stamina and needing a 3+ to hit. Oh, and he gets a 6, dealing 2 damage to Raven and gaining him 2 momentum. And then he uses his loose cannon ability, rolling 2 dice. Oh, and he gets a 9, dealing 1 additional damage to Raven, gaining 1 additional momentum, and adding a charge to his unpredictable ability. Oh, and now Brian Pillman is looking to follow that up with a DDT, which costs him 2 stamina and needs a 5+ to hit. Oh, and Raven rolls his NPC recharge, which, as he already has 3 charges, will trigger his reversal ability. Oh, what a reversal by Raven. He saved himself from that DDT. And that deals 2 damage to Brian Pillman and gains 2 momentum for Raven. And then the DDT is shuffled back into his draw pile, and he draws a replacement, getting a tornado DDT. And Raven with the initiative now, he comes in looking for a running bulldog. And he needs a 4 to hit with that. Oh, Brian Pillman just slapped Raven right in the face. Oh, and that's going to increase Raven's target number by 1, meaning he needs a 5+ to hit with that running bulldog. Oh, and he misses, which also triggers another charge to Brian Pillman's unpredictable ability. And Brian Pillman regains the initiative, going back on the offensive and looking for a knife-edge chop, which costs him 1 stamina and needs a 2+ to hit. Oh, but he's struggling to land that knife-edge chop, and Pillman discards the DDT to reroll his attack die. Oh, and he lands that knife-edge chop with a sickening slap, and that deals 1 damage to Raven and gains him 1 momentum. Oh, and what's he doing now? Oh, Brian Pillman is exposing the turnbuckle. Well, we've seen this tactic before. Oh, it is a very effective tactic for sure stats. Oh, and he bounces Raven's head right off the exposed steel of that turnbuckle, and that deals 2 damage to Raven and gains Brian Pillman 1 more momentum. Brian Pillman looks to follow up with a power slam, costing him 2 stamina. He's looking for a 3 to hit. Oh, Raven is trying to adapt to that power slam. Oh, and as Brian Pillman only has the 1 attack card, that's going to increase his target roll by 2. Oh, and some real cunning there by Raven as he adapts to that attack and escapes, meaning Brian Pillman will have to shuffle that card back into his draw pile and draw a replacement. And he draws a wheel kick. Oh, and now Raven is on a comeback, and he is looking for the Raven effect, his finisher. He is hoping to really do some damage to Brian Pillman here. But that's a big move, Tug, so he's going to need a whopping 6 to hit with this. Oh, and he gets a 5, just missing with that Raven effect, which would have really turned the tide against Brian Pillman here. And now Brian Pillman claws back the initiative, and he's going for a wheel kick, costing him 2 stamina, and that's going to require a 4. Oh, Raven's trying to escape out of a ring, looking to adapt to that wheel kick. Oh, and if Brian Pillman's health had been 7 or less, Raven would have reversed that attack. But Brian Pillman is extremely healthy, and Raven cannot hope to adapt. And that deals 3 damage to Raven, putting him to low health. Oh, what's this? Brian Pillman is distracting the referee, while Matt Cardona runs in and kicks Raven right in the side of the head. What a brutal kick. Did you hear that, Stats? Oh, it sounded pretty bad, Tug. What a nasty bloke that Matt Cardona is. And that deals 2 damage to Raven. Well, now that he sees the work has been done, Brian Pillman goes for the pin, and the referee is none the wiser. And because Raven is at low health, He's only going to get 2 chances to kick out of this, and he's going to need a 2 or less. 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this Golden Ropes Silver Bracket match, Brian Pillman!
Oh, what a fantastic display of force by Brian Pillman. Oh, what's this? It looks like Matt Cardona is getting in the ring to congratulate his new friend. Oh, I don't like where this is going. Raven is helpless on the mat. No! And now, Matt Cardona and Brian Pillman stomping a mud hole in the defenseless Raven. Absolutely despicable. Maybe they thought he was about to attack them stats. Oh, come on, Tug. They're just beating him for the sake of it. And now, they're lifting Raven up and throwing him out of the ring. What are you talking about, stats? They are just clearing the ring of trash so they can celebrate. And Brian Pillman picks up another victory in the Golden Ropes tournament with some dirty help from his friend Matt Cardona. Well, Brian Pillman is just playing the cards in his hand, stats. You can't blame him. I don't. I blame Matt Cardona for that sneaky, vile attack. Well, regardless, Brian Pillman has won, and he will advance to the next round of the Golden Ropes tournament, and Raven is eliminated. And that's all the time we have for WhackDown today, but tune in next week, where we'll be seeing Gilgamesh take on Kurt Angle to see who goes through to the silver bracket of the Golden Ropes tournament. Thank you for watching, everybody. Good night.